These people just have no lives. They're just resentful. You know, they're sad, and I'm like, God damn, to live that way to me is kind of pathetic. So, but hey,
is it living?
More power to you. It's not.
Because it's delaying living.
Hey everyone, I'm sure you heard by now, Double Toasted is heading out on tour, bringing you a night of comedy, games, and some interaction with the audience out there. Get tickets by going over to doubletoasted.com or going over to X1 Entertainment. Hey, we'll see you soon. Hey everyone, support our Patreon, which helps us to continue bringing you our live streams, videos, and podcasts while bringing you new content such as exclusive live streams and animated shorts.
And now, my friends, chat, we're going to go ahead and talk about this next story because everyone's talking about it. Everyone wants an opinion on it. And we'll get into, I'm going to bring up this article too, just to read it. So I was like, all right, I'm referencing it because I want to, give this man his day in internet court. So that does not happen often. Yeah. Yes, the Honorable Judge Chris is here to render his judgment without doing any research, like everyone else on the internet. So we can go ahead and do that, chat. But chat, have you heard about this stuff with Simu Liu, Shang-Chi? Everyone has opinions on this man. Everyone either loves him or hates him, and everyone's making videos about him online.
I hate him. Say, why hate him?
Because he's vocal about having a lot of Asian representation films, and people take umbrage with that representation.
Okay.
They take umbrage with the fact that he doesn't want Asians to be in stereotypical roles anymore, and they're like, "No, we want you to be in those roles. What are you talking about?"
Yeah, if you don't do it, then who is?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so people are mad about it, and they're making videos about it, and it's like, okay. And so they got some dirt on him. That's the big thing right now. But apparently, chat, the big reason right now, the big controversial thing that's going on with him is that people have unearthed. They've spent many a time. They've gone into the bowels of Reddit. I think that's what they're called. The forums are called bowels on Reddit. And yeah, I think that's what it is. People on Reddit, they can check me. They can double check for me. But they went to the bowels of Reddit, and some people found a Reddit thread where Shang-Chi actor Simu Liu compared pedophilia to being gay, apparently years ago. And this has caused a lot of people to be upset. A lot of people are defending him. He came out saying that, first of all, that people are trying to slander me on Twitter, like so many other people try to do to people on Twitter all the time.
Sure.
Which is true.
Yeah.
And he did make reference to the Reddit post, in which I'm going to read those. I want to read them in full. I want to give them the full context. But I want to get into the nitty-gritty details of this whole thing of the cancellation, because I feel like we do this all the time.
We do.
Like
we do
the latest thing, and I think like our answers are always the same. At least mine are, and I'm sure yours are as well. But here, let me go ahead and get his one tweet up here referencing it, chat. Man, this thing does not want to cooperate with me. All right, here we go. All right, chat. So this is some of the history of his tweets right here, just in reference to it. Twitter is a slanderous place sometimes, and it feels good to shut down trolls and bad faith actors who want to drag your name to the mud, referencing the new Reddit post. He went on to say, just a reminder that I do not ever advocate for anything other than positivity, positive cultural pride, positive iterations of Asian masculinity and femininity, that we don't put each other down, direct your frustration, the system that did this to all of us. And this is the one that I think he was referencing the things that he wrote on Reddit. If you dig back far enough, I'm sure you'll find a more immature version of me who gave into anger and hate. It doesn't make me a hypocrite. It makes me a human being. Mentalities evolve, we shift, and we grow. And I want us all to grow in the right way. Now, I'll read his stuff in a minute, but I mean, that's what happens. I feel like, when we're younger, when we're more ignorant, when we're immature, we say these things without realizing what we're actually saying.
Sure.
But as we grow as a person, we can go like, oh, I made a mistake. I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to correct my behavior, and I'm going to grow as a person. I feel like that this constantly happens all the time, and people want to dredge this stuff back up just to go, gotcha. How do you feel about this?
Also, part of growing up is not changing how you feel, but just not saying it anymore. He's like, all right, well, putting my feelings out there doesn't really help me any. It just gives people weapons to use against me. So I'll just keep my mouth shut and smile.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. And just to kind of get into the more, I mean, we want to get into the nitty gritty details of all these posts because it's a long thread. People on Reddit love to write a lot, love to complain. Boy, do they! And so he basically went on from a biological standpoint. So it perceived in the media in the end of the completely changed the way I look at pedophilia and has made me much more sympathetic to anyone who is born with those urges. Basically, like researching this. And he says, from a biological standpoint, it's no different than being gay. A small mutation in the genome that defines our sexual preferences, depending on what area of the world you were born in what time. It also may have a perfectly acceptable thing to act on those urges. Now we all know that taking advantage of minors is wrong, disgusting, and vile. Even both the exception of Germany, we are going about it completely the wrong way. It's like we were having learned anything by studying homosexuality. We're talking about exploring the same cures to pedophilia as we were about homosexuality 20 years ago. So, you know, he's making the comparison. Obviously, when you put that out there, when you're comparing pedophilia to homosexuality, I mean, already people have done that in the past, like so many times. And so it'll definitely get people angry. I feel like he's trying to come in, like, he's sounding ignorant, but he's trying to come in with the best intentions, and maybe doesn't know exactly, like, what you're actually doing is what you're talking about again. And I feel like, but again, I don't feel like he still believes in this. I don't feel like he's like, yeah, and I'm definitely anti-gay, and they're all pedophiles. Like, that's clearly not the case.
What he wrote there, I don't even see how he's being negative.
How people are inferring that.
Yeah, he's actually being positive about both things.
Exactly.
And the stuff he's saying there, that's the kind of thing what somebody would say and be stoned in the streets, and then 50 years later, it would become accepted that, oh, this is how we look at this.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta look either because it was, for so long it was, oh well, if we have a gay teacher, he's going to prey on kids.
Right.
Those things were linked together in a way that was not just wrong but harmful. So there's some sensitivity of making a link at any time, any place, any way. But that's not what he's doing there.
Yeah, exactly.
And
fully agree.
And it seems more like his point. And this is something I think about also. You think about, like, when somebody is a pedophile, we're like, hey, kill him right there. Don't even bother with a trial.
Right.
Just drop a piano on him and sweep it up and be gone with it. But if you stop to, like, get past your revulsion, you have to wonder, like, what is the pathology that, because like when Chris Hansen was doing the To Catch a Predator, so many of those guys he'd catch, they'd say, like, I knew it. I knew this was a sting. And it's like, you knew it, and yet you
couldn't help yourself.
Yeah, you were just, your compulsion made you do this anyway. Like, nobody really wants to stop and go, like, hey, let's look at this.
They're a human being and they need help because the act is so disgusting.
Right,
like, I get it.
Right, because it's like, oh, wait, we have a definitive bad guy and that we can jump on. Like, it's like being a Nazi.
Yeah.
Like, like anybody you place as a villain, there's some anti-defamation league who will come in and say, like, hey, no, that's wrong. Our people have gotten a bad rap.
Yeah.
If you make your villain a Nazi, nobody says shit.
That's true.
Whatever. If you make your villain someone who's a pedophile, and I am not, just because if it's absolutely necessary that I say this, you can't infer it from my words, I am not promoting pedophilia.
Yeah.
But it's just that it is such a problem that blowing it off and not really looking at it is not really serving anyone.
Exactly. Not properly addressing.
Yes.
Because it's like we want to broom it fast, like out of sight, out of mind. Like you said, kill him, put him in jail. It's like there's more to it than just that. This is an epidemic. These people need help. We need to understand what led them to do this.
Right.
And I feel like that's what he's saying.
That's what he's trying to get to.
Yeah. And I think I do think it's just kind of, it's a lot of word salad. It's a lot of just jumbled stuff, and so that's why it's being interpreted.
Sure.
In these ways, like he's comparing gays to pedophiles, which that is not exactly what he's saying. And at the end of the day, what it is, this is just like the whole thing really. This is just another attempt at people getting together who don't like this guy already because of certain things that he's already said that has made them feel threatened, or has affected their ego, or you pick a reason out of a hat. That is the case. And they want to find something on this guy, and they spend hours because they are so resentful, because they are so small, and because they are just kind of really just mean-spirited, sick people that they've gotten this out and are now throwing up there and going, see, he's bad. It's just like I've been saying. And if anything, it's like, I think it's even worse. You had people that were just scouring Reddit forums or just his history just to find this one thing. It's like, and this is a grander thing on you because there's a vast audience for that kind of content. There are many content creators, which I will not name on this channel or on my own on YouTube, who cultivate that, and that is their whole premise. Right? Yeah, and it's to me, it's just like, how just sad and pathetic and angry of a person are you to just always be immersed in that? Always just sit there and just let it flow over you constantly. That's the big thing. This is just the latest example. It's the latest example of someone bringing this up or taking someone's words out of context. I mean, he's the new Brie Larson. He's the new Kathleen Kennedy. He's the new you pick a name. All right, that's what it is, and I'm just sick of it. I'm tired of talking about shit like this and these pathetic attempts to destroy an individual, whether I like them or not. I don't care anymore.
I know. Well, what makes me laugh is that headline, which is written to be sensational, and I still read it and I go like, yeah, okay, and like I like me coming across something like that. I'm not bothering to click on it. Yeah. It's like, well, okay, you say whatever you got to say here. It's a non-story. It's a nothing burger. Let me move on. Spend my time on something that's actually interesting. Yeah, it's like, is that the worst you got to say about him? Is that he wrote some shit on Reddit that you may have interpreted wrong, or even if this is exactly what he said? So,
yeah. I mean, and the other part of it is, and you've brought this up too in the past, the reason why some people are focusing on this, the reason why this is the big story of the day or of the week is because it's easy.
It's easy. Super
easy. It's an easy problem. Yeah. That's what it is. And they don't want to address the big things that are going on.
Sure. Yeah. Make this a thing. When it seems like, it's a slow news day, we actually got other big shit happening right now. Yeah. But since you can't solve that, well, we can take this guy down. Yeah. But man, if nobody pays attention in 3 weeks, it'll be gone. It won't be remembered again.
No one will care. Be like, remember that one time when everyone tried to cancel the Shang-Chi? And I'd be like, oh yeah, I remember that.
What did he do? Was he grabbing people's dicks like Kevin Spacey?
No. He just he made a thing where he was talking about.
Oh, was he saying some racist shit? No, not really. So what was it?
Yeah,
I don't remember. It was something, I don't know.
And they're just like, hey, but this, you see here what this guy did recently, and that's what all the videos will be about, or this woman and stuff. And yeah, it's just time and time again, Chad. This is so often happens, and I'll cover it. I'll talk about it, but my answer is always going to be the same at the end of the day. I just don't care. I just really don't care. I have more things to do. That's the other thing too, is that these people that try to find this shit on the bowels of Reddit or what other social media service there is, they have so much time on their hands.
They do.
Infinite time. And I think when you have infinite time on your hands and you're bored, you look for distractions that I think are just more negative based. Well, I think that's a big thing of it. You become more resentful.
That's the double-edged sword of getting cast in a Marvel movie. Because hey, on the positive side, you get a personal trainer, and you're in a franchise that's going to make money and pay you dividends forever. Yep. And even if the rest of your career goes wrong, you can always make money at a Comic-Con.
True.
On the downside, anytime there's a controversy online about you that you might normally go off, you have to actually address it. They're going to make you address it.
Yeah.
If not apologize.
He has addressed certain things, like, and I know what happened. I know why people went after him this way, and it was because he made multiple posts online talking about all these YouTube channels who are like, Shang-Chi's going to fail at the box office.
Oh.
Our sources say that there's a complete lack of interest in this character. They don't care about this character. It's going to be even worse than Black Widow's box office performance. And they see all these things, and then the movie, did even better and is doing even better. And, they look bad and like, and so they were like, we got to find something in this guy because this is what our content's all based around. And it's just like, it's so pathetic, and I'm tired of it. And the thing that just bothers me so much about this is that there's a huge audience for it. Hundreds of thousands of viewers, millions of subscribers, and it's just like that gravitate towards it. And it comes down to these people just have no lives. They're just resentful. They're sad, and it's like, I'm like, God damn, to live that way to me is kind of pathetic. So, but hey.
Is it living?
More power to you. It's not. It's not.
Because it's delaying living.
It is, and it's also it goes into tribalism too, where people become so obsessed over one thing it defines their life, whether it be politics, whether it be religion, whether it be fandoms, whether it be Xbox or PlayStation.
I know.
And it still goes on, and it's not just
Sports teams.
Sports teams, yeah, same thing. It's the same thing, and because as humans, we want to be a part of something. We feel the need, the insatiable need to be a part of something, and you have some people that take it to the nth degree. And where they define their whole life by it, and they will harass and they will mock anyone else who they perceive as a threat. And it's it's just very sad, and I'm just kind of sick of it. And those people that engage in that kind of behavior. What about you, Chad? What about what's your opinions on this, and just in general about what we've been talking about? People said the same shit about Black Panther and the movie grows over 2. Yeah, no, exactly. They said the same exact shit, that it's like there's low interest, that it's not going to perform well and everything, and lo and behold. So that's exactly what's happening. Bang the gavel, Chad. Yes, not guilty. Not guilty. All right? Now shut the up. I'm tired of it. Absolutely tired of it. Put this in the YouTube video.
You're out of order.
Yeah.
You're out of order. This whole court is out of order.
I'm done.
That was half the man I used to be. I take a flamethrower to this place.